Hey, what's going on, everyone? In this week's episode of SlabStox FC Show, we are doing something we have never done before, and I think you are really going to love it. We had the opportunity to sit down with a special guest, Tosin Adebayosin, center back for Fulham in the Premier League. We got to talk to him about playing football growing up in England, his card collecting and hobby journey, and we finished things off talking about Fulham's current form in the Premier League and their upcoming fixtures over the next couple weeks. We're going to jump right into the conversation. I hope you all enjoy.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to today's SlabStox FC Show. Super excited for today's episode because it's very special because we have none other than Tosin Collectibles joining us today. Very excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time. And Tosin, just let our listeners know a little bit about yourself and what you like to collect as well.
So I've been collecting for probably up to a year now. I was, again, when I was younger, I was mainly collecting Pokémon and doing a bit of the Euros sticker books and the World Cup sticker books when I was younger, but I'm back in the hobby now and just really enjoying collecting the cards again. Mainly football, of course, but I do venture into Pokemon and NBA now also.
So the cool thing about yourself is not only are you a collector, but you're also the first professional athlete that's been here interviewed on a SlabStox show at all. So tell us about that for a little bit. Who do you play for, and how's your season going so far?
Yeah, so I play for Fulham Football Club. It's a club in London, and we're doing very well at the moment. We just got promoted to the Premier League on the back of winning the Championship last season, and we're sitting 7th, I'd say. I actually couldn't tell you, but I think we're sitting 7th or 8th after a win against Brighton on the weekend.
Andrew, obviously, host of SlabStox FC, I've got next to me here. He came up with some good questions, some really good questions. So let's just get him going.
Well, Tosin, like, my background's teaching, and so, one of the things that fascinates me about England is, the club academies that are present in England. And I think you grew up from an early age in the Man City Academy. And so could you talk a little bit about, what does that look like as an academy player at such a young age? How do you balance school, friends, what does that all look like? Because I think here in America, there's a lot of, club teams, outside of school. So can you just touch on a little bit of what is it like growing up in an academy?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it's every kid's dream, especially over here in the UK. Over here in Europe, for football being so big, it's every kid's dream just to be able to play for such a big team at the time. Obviously, I was at Man City. I was there before the big investment came, so it wasn't a huge club, but seeing the growth of the club was amazing, and balancing it with schoolwork, it is tough, but at a time we got moved into a private school, so then it was easier for every player to balance school and football, as we were doing half days in school and then half days away to train, like pretty much train like professionals because we're training every single day.
Now, does that leave much time for other things? Like, did you have time to watch football growing up? Like, who were you watching? Like, what guys kind of were the ones that you were attracted to growing up?
Well, I used to watch a lot of football. I used to watch pretty much any game that I could get my hands on. I used to go to all the home games at City, so I've seen all the players. But Company was definitely one for me growing up. Obviously, we played the same position. He was club captain, one of the best centre-backs in the world. But I also liked my other players. I liked Ronaldo, I liked Rooney, Zidane, Messi, Vieira. I just used to watch all these different players and love parts of their game.
So you mentioned like you were obviously at City before the big investment, but I take it you were. I know you're there past it too. You said you're going to a bunch of the games. Was it like from one year to the next, or like 1 year, like 2 years from them, where you're like, holy cow, like this has all changed? Like the ball games changed in City itself while you were there?
I can't remember how old I was when the investment came, but you started to slowly see it because the facilities started to improve, and then we started to make these marquee signings. Like I remember when we signed Robinho, like he was one of the biggest signings like you could have. He's an amazing player. Obviously, played for Real Madrid, amazing player for Brazil. We signed Adebayosin. We just started to make these big signings, and you start to see the facilities starting to change. That's when you're like, wow, okay, yeah, this is going to become something amazing.
Question: where were you when Aguero won the league?
It still pains me, man. It was one of the only games I didn't go to. One of the only games of the season I didn't go to, solely because it was like my eldest brother was a Man United fan at the time, obviously, and I always used to go with him or the middle brother, which is still one of my elder brothers. But they just fancied seeing the United game and obviously see United lift the trophy, and obviously it didn't go that way. So yeah, I missed it.
Wait, are you telling me you were at Old Trafford instead of?
No. I was at home watching the games. I was at home watching like the whole, like just the last games of of the season, just watching all of them, obviously, because they were flicking through them on Sky Sports, and you could watch the main game. United finished their game. They're half celebrating, half you see Phil Jones with his hands on his head. Go to that season as well. So, but absolutely amazing moment for the club, man. It's still one that I remember very clearly.
Yeah, and I think like remembering, events and times and players, leads to this kind of in the hobby, this idea of nostalgia. Like, does that play a role into some of the cards that you're currently picking up? Like, do you have like guys that you're looking to collect based on, how you viewed them back in childhood?
No, not really, because I only really go for these modern cards, and if I was to, it would be Zidane. But I've not really looked into much. I know he's got a lot of stickers, but I've not really looked into many of his cards, to be honest.
Got it. Well, as a kid, you said you mentioned Pokemon, and were there stickers that you were collecting? Do you still have your collection as a kid? Like, do you still have those cards?
No, I wish. We used to move around quite a bit, and our last house that we moved out of, my brother left them in the garage, and then nowhere to be seen. They're absolutely nowhere to be seen.
Like, did you have like a card or a group of like a couple cards that were like, those are the ones that I would want
From
back?
what I remember, we just had amazing Pokemon cards, just like all the cards you could wish for. I'm not sure about their condition, obviously, because we were young, but every card you can think of, the Charizard, all the main three, just all these amazing cards that you had, first editions and base sets. But yeah, obviously they're nowhere to be seen now.
You might need to get some back at some point.
Yeah.
Nah, they're gone.
You're talking about Zidane.
There it is.
So this is from 2003 Mundi Chromo. That's a Real Madrid kit, PSA 9, super cool card. So like honestly, I've been getting a little bit more into the older ones. Like, to be completely honest and everything, I still am mostly a modern collector. But like some of these older cards, especially the ones released in Spain, are so cool. This is R9,
Nice.
PSA 8. And that's from the same set, 2003 Mundi Chromo Las Fichas. But like, nice. I think this was maybe like $40 and this was like $75. It's like, they're so cool. And like, they can barely get you a Jude Bellingham PSA 10 base these days.
For sure. That Zidane is sick. That one looks sick.
So I guess, let me say, like, when I say that to you, like, oh, you can get this like pretty low population, Zidane PSA 9 for $75, or you can buy Jude Bellingham Sapphire base PSA 10 for $75. What does that make you think, like, as someone that has lived, breathed football their entire life, that some of these all-time greats so similarly to like the modern young guys?
To me, it's crazy because Zidane is, for me, he's top 5 ever to play the game, and then you see these guys that are still playing now that have their cards, the value is just way higher. To me, it's a bit crazy, but obviously that's the way the hobby is at the moment. So it is what it is, I guess.
So I'm just looking like live on the fly. Jamal Musiala, his top selling card of all time was a 2020 Stadium Club Superfractor 1/1 PSA 10 rookie. It's over $23,000. The top selling card of Zidane all time was a PSA 9 sticker at the top of the market. It sold for like $70,000, which, yes, is more. It still is crazy how close it can get.
Yeah, it's not far off, is it?
No, it's not. And especially when you consider, I guess, maybe more so in like a current market, I think that PSA 9 is like a $27,000 card now. So you could have spent that money on literally like the best Zidane card of all time versus the Musiala Superfractor PSA 10, which there's multiple Superfractors. There's multiple different sets that release these types of cards.
Yeah.
It's just such a disparity. But to speak to it, because for you grew up with this. For me, I didn't. I think in London, I've only became a football fan within the last 3.5 years now. Now I'm super, super into it. But like I didn't get the chance to watch Zidane or R9 or any of that type of stuff. So it's harder for me to connect with it because I didn't watch it live. Yeah. I've been now my, nostalgia, as Andrew called it, is watching, Jude Bellingham play against Chelsea in the Champions League, like stuff like that, where it's like those guys mean a lot to me. Although I'm trying to get into this more because I see it. I look at it. I'm like, yeah, you say it. I hear it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Tosin, talk to us a little bit about, every person seems to have like how they got back into the hobby. So you have the love of football, but what caused you a year ago to say, I want to get back into cards?
I think it was just a conversation with my brother and with Tyler, actually. I'm not sure if you guys know Tyler from 1:37 p.m.
Definitely.
Yep. I first had a conversation with my brother. He was like, "Oh, I remember you just used to love collecting cards and you just used to enjoy it so much. And I think it'll be great for you to like get back into it. Obviously, with you being a player now, I think you'd really enjoy it and provide value. Try to provide value to the hobby because I feel like he's got friends also that are still in the hobby, as do I, like Tyler. So I actually reached out to Tyler probably up to a year ago now. I'm not quite sure." And said, "What do you think? Do you think that it's a good idea to get back into the hobby? Where's the hobby at?" And he just said, "Yeah, absolutely, go for it. It's still very enjoyable and there's a lot of value in it." So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna hop back in.
Did you know Tyler from like before, or was this like, oh, I know that Tyler works for Gary in 137, and that's how I knew Tyler was through Gary? Like, how did you, I guess, get in contact with Tyler?
I reached out to Gary probably a year and a half to 2 years ago, and he connected me with Tyler. So since then, we've just been connected, and we've turned out to be quite good friends now.
Super cool. Funny, yeah. Same story with me actually. I reached out to Gary now 4 years ago. 4 years ago, right when I saw he was getting the cards. This was before we, have gotten to where we are now, and he connected me to Lou, who then also connected me to Tyler. I've known those guys for like 4 years now.
Nice.
Good friends with them and everything. So it's cool to hear, similar story with you too.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's nice.
So Tosin, now you're in the hobby. Like, is it football? Is it, you said basketball, Pokemon? Where are you navigating in the hobby?
Definitely predominantly football. It's what I enjoy most. It's what I'm enjoying most. But I am in Pokemon too because I've loved Pokemon my whole life. I've still played all the games my whole life, to be honest. At every release, I'm still on the Nintendo playing the game. So still Pokemon, and I am starting to get into basketball now also. I've just ended up getting some blank slate NBA cards, and I love them. So I do love basketball too. So it's one that I'm going to get into for sure.
Favorite basketball player?
Ever?
Oh, ever or now? Either or.
Now, KD or Giannis?
Like it?
I love KD. Ever? Kobe.
Kobe, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Giannis and Kobe are my two favorites too, so I like to hear it. I like to hear it a lot.
Nice.
You've also been I've seen at shows in the London area.
Yes, absolutely.
Give me some feedback. Like, what's your experience has been like at the shows? What are you seeing? Is it, are you finding the basketball? Are you finding, obviously I would assume you'd find football.
Yeah, I'm having an amazing time. Like, met some amazing people, some really nice people. I've only just gotten into basketball now, so probably in the last week or so. So no, when I was at any card shows, but I've bought 2 cards at the last card shows I've been to. So definitely everything you need is there. It's an amazing experience. Anybody that's not been to one, I would definitely recommend getting to one as soon as you can because it's great fun. It's where the hobby's at, to be honest. Yeah. That's where you really get the best feel of the hobby.
To be honest, like, you and I met at the Card Con in Farnborough. Yep. And to me, some of my friends, really good friends in the hobby, like Gus and Max, they were telling me that, you were coming there. And obviously I've never met you at a show prior to that. And just you being there, it felt so like normally when you go to a show in America, if it's like, oh, a professional athlete's going to be there, it's like, yeah, he'll be signing autographs in the corner. You got to get in line. You can't really meet them unless you go pay the money to get the autograph signings. But it was just such a different feeling when you were there for me. Like, it just felt like you were there because you really love the not only the cards, but the hobby. And like, you took the time to talk to anyone. Like, obviously you talked to me, which I really appreciate, but I saw you talking to other people. And I just want to give you some props because like that's extremely cool. And that's not something you see here in America frequently or ever.
Okay.
So like, it was very, very cool. And you kind of were saying like, oh, like go for it. The hobby's, a good place that you're talking about Tyler. Like, I think that you've already made an impact already. Even if you don't, know how big of an impact you made, I think you made a massive impact especially in the people that I've seen you talk to at shows. Like it's like very incredible to see how you just being there has excited people to be there as well. It's awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, I actually love going to the card show, so as many as I can get to, I will do so. And obviously, meeting everybody in the hobby is also enjoyable. Just having nice little conversations it's fun, man. It's really fun.
Yeah, definitely. And like you took the time to do that. Like the night before, I think you had the home match against Sunderland, FA Cup.
Yeah. We just played Sunday the night before. I got to the Sunday, didn't I? I got to the Sunday.
Yeah, so you came to the Sunday one, and like that was just crazy. It's like this guy started an FA Cup match the night before, and the next morning he's in Farnborough, which is not like super close to the central London. Like you know, you got to take some trains or something to get there, and you were there.
Yeah, made it there. Had to. Nice show. They did a good job, to be fair. So it was a very good show.
They did. Very awesome, man. Thank you.
So when you're going to shows and you're looking for modern soccer, what are you looking for? Like what sets are you keeping an eye out for?
I'm not really looking for anything in particular. I literally go there and say and just look around, see if anything catches my eye, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I didn't get anything at CardCon, London Card Show. I ended up getting a 2014 Prism, Ronaldo Cup Captain's purple Prism. It's nice.
I saw that. That was super nice card.
Super
nice card. Nice pickup there.
Very.
And honestly, that's kind of how I am at shows too. Like I've got like in the back of my head some guys I'd like to find, or like, if I find on card autographs of those players. But honestly, I'm just like, all right, what's here? I'm just gonna buy anything that I like that I see, and it's a very spontaneous type of thing, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Andrew, are you different? Are you like, I got my list?
I think I'm different. You know, I've got my Brooks Lennon that I'm always looking out for. You know, my PC guy. Who plays for Atlanta United, but usually there's a set number of guys or sets that I'm looking for, whether it's 2016 select or if it's 2017 Topps Chrome. Like usually like I'm going in with a game plan. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it, but yeah, usually I go in with a game plan, and then if I don't see it, it's just I'll try again the next show.
No, Andrew, you're a teacher, so you're always prepared.
I'm very structured. I'm very organized. I try to, every line, every card. So I don't do this whole fly by the seat of my pants kind of thing. So
I don't have a PC yet, so I'm not really going to be out there looking for something specific because I've not found my PC yet. So
eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I'm waiting. It could be these blank slates. We'll see.
We'll see if it speaks to you. It speaks to you. And speaking of that PC, I know you don't have the PC yet, but if you had to pick one card you own right now, what's your favorite card in your collection?
My favorite card in my collection.
You got to pick one.
I'll probably say the LeBron James 2017 blank slate.
That is nice, man. That's in his Cavs jersey?
So again, in his Cavs, yeah.
Very cool. Is that graded?
Yes, PSA 10.
Woo! Okay, that's a big card. That's a big card.
For sure. For sure. I'll say that one because I'm loving these blank slates at the moment.
Very nice. Very nice. And you said you have that one. Do you have the Giannis? And then what were you said two others? What are the other two players you got?
The Giannis is on its way. I got a Damian Lillard because one of my best friends loves Damian Lillard, and I'm trying to get him into collecting. So I might just gift him that just to get him excited.
I love me some Dame Dollar, man. He's so nice. He's so fun to watch.
Sick. And then I got a Klay Thompson also.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Good shooters.
Yeah.
Now you don't have a PC. Do you collect your own cards?
Yes, I do. Somebody just sent me today a picture of my Black Prism.
What?
I couldn't believe it.
He's like the one of this?
Yeah.
No way.
And I didn't even realize I had it. It's been with PSA for 4 months and it's coming back soon. I said, let me know.
You gotta get it.
Yeah. I said, let me know. I hope it grades very well.
You gotta get it, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know it was out there, to be honest. But wow.
I haven't seen it. I saw gold.
Yeah.
You got the pink wave.
Gold's all I've seen. Yeah.
You're gonna have to do the rainbow, I think.
Yeah, I will.
You know what that is, right? You get the rainbow every color.
Yeah. I'm gonna try again this year as well for this year. When that
been delayed, that's gonna be your first release, I think, in a couple of years now. 2022, 23 EPL or Premier League.
It will. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
Super, super cool, man. And he asked you about collecting yourself. How many Anthony Robinson, Tim Ream cards you got over there?
I've only got 2 Jedi. Anthony Robbins. I was going to call him Jedi. That's his nickname.
Yeah, everyone refers to them over here. So
I've only got 2 Jedis. I've not got any Tim Reams.
Got you. Well, speaking of Jedi, talk about his athleticism. Because I think a lot of U.S. men's national team players watching him in the World Cup, myself included, was like, this guy is ridiculously fast and athletic. It's crazy.
He is so fast and he can run all day. He's so powerful. It's literally a madness. I've never seen anything like it from anyone, to be honest. Like, literally, he can run up and down that left flank all day. Same pace. He doesn't lose pace, just same pace up and down.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely. I can't even imagine that.
He's a monster, honestly. He's an absolute monster.
He's fun to watch. He is really, really fun to watch.
Yeah. Good player, man. Very good player.
Well, Tim Ream, Andrew, I don't know if you know this, but does he have any Fulham cards yet? I haven't seen any. So
I haven't seen any Fulham. I mean, part of that is because like Prism is, Premier League. And so they've, removed last, they were in the championship last year, so they wouldn't have any cards. But that transition this year, I would assume.
Did he not have cards last time around?
Did he have one 2 years ago?
I don't know. Does everyone not get one?
No, not everyone gets one.
Ooh.
Oh no, he actually did. He did have 2021 Prism cards.
So he does.
Yes, he does.
Got it.
I've not seen any, to be fair.
Yeah, he's got them. That was 2020, 2021. So that would be like not last year's set, but the year before that.
Yeah.
So, and Andrew just mentioned the championship and everything. You got to tell me, what's it like being in the championship versus being in the Premier League? How different is the lifestyle? How different is like the match days, like the feeling, just everything?
Championship's relentless. It's just game after game after game after game. Like, you literally just play a game, recover. You might get one session in, and then you've got another game again. Isn't it
like 48 or something?
What is it? There's 24 in the league, so that'll
46?
be
46 games.
Yeah, 46. That'll be.
See,
is that right?
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it must be. Premier League's 38, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Let's see here. Yeah, 46 last year. 46 matches.
Yeah,
90 points last year. 2 points over Bournemouth.
Yep, we took the trophy home.
Best goal differential too in the league.
Yeah, for sure. We annihilated it. To be honest, we were scoring 5, 6, 7. I remember the day we won the league. I think we won 7-1, 7-2. That was a big celebration.
But talk about the games themselves. Like, the more games is one thing. Like, is it? You always hear maybe here in these states like it's more physical in the championship.
Yeah,
and then you get to the Premier League. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, for sure. Well, in terms of fighting, like the physical fighting element of the game, like long balls, heading, 1v1 tackles, I would say, yeah, that's more physically demanding. But the intensity and the amount you have to run in a Premier League game is superior to any championship game, for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys, like you said, won the league last year in the championship. And then it seems like a seamless transition into the Premier League. I mean, you guys are sitting 6th place, 3 points off of 5th, which is a Europa League spot. And you're still like, what, you've got a fifth round FA Cup tie coming up. So can you talk a little bit like how do you make that seem, it seems seamless? Because I know some clubs have struggled going championship to Premier League, and you guys just seem to like just move right on in.
To be honest, we've shocked ourselves. We've really shocked ourselves. We wouldn't have thought we'd be in this position, but we started off very well and we've just maintained it. We've made every game tough, and it's just been a fight in every single game, and we've been coming out on top in a lot of them. So that's why we're sitting in the position we are.
Well, as a Chelsea fan, I watched both matches very closely. I was at the one at Stamford Bridge, and I gotta say, you do make it tough. So
yeah,
props to you guys, because you guys got 3 points off of us, or sorry, 4 points off of us.
4 points, yeah,
4 points. Crazy.
Yeah, we won the first leg, didn't we?
Oh, yep. Felix red card.
Just rub it in. Just rub it in.
No,
not only did he win, but Felix going to miss the next 3 matches too. So
yeah.
I guess speaking of that, I'm thinking of how impactful, at least to my eyes, Joe Felix has been for us. Like, who who's the most impactful player that you've played against? Like when they're on the pitch, you're like, this guy makes a massive impact, and you just feel it, even if he maybe didn't score. Where you're like, you gotta always know where this guy is, type of thing.
Oh, that's tough, because a lot of teams have players like if one player's not doing well, they've got another player to pick them up. But if I had to say one, I would either say Kevin De Bruyne when we played them.
I was gonna say, I was at the Tottenham match, and I said when he wasn't on the pitch, completely different team.
Yeah, he gets them going differently, to be honest. So I'd say De Bruyne or Harry Kane. Yeah.
Andrew likes and hates Harry Kane.
I think he's really, like, people don't give him enough credit personally, but I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's not a.
I get you. I get you.
So there's like, hey, I think people need to appreciate what he's accomplishing, but yet I want him to accomplish all he can, just no trophies.
Yeah, he's an amazing player, man, for sure.
Yeah,
I just got this one in. That's a 2-color patch auto English PSA 10 from Spectra.
Nice. Nice.
So I mean, you guys got a big week coming up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? This Friday? You
Yeah,
guys are home.
We have Friday, then we have Wolves on Friday. Leeds on
that W.
Yes, Leeds on Wednesday, and then the following Monday we've got another big tie against Brentford.
Now, talk to me. This is a fifth round FA Cup tie, right?
Yeah.
Against Leeds. Now, over here in America, it's a lot of talk about Leeds and the American influence. So you got your Brendan Aaronsons, you got your Tyler Adams, you got your Weston McKennie now. But I think a lot of people, and we talked a little bit about Antonee Robinson, but that back four with Antonee Robinson and Tim Ream playing a big part of Fulham's defense. I know you talked a little bit about Antonee Robinson already, but what can you tell us about those players? As our listeners, a lot of them are here in the States.
Yeah, Tim Ream and Jedi have had a huge influence in the way Fulham plays. Literally, that left side is incredibly strong. Credit to them too, also being on that left side of the defense. They've done a great job. Obviously, I think Tim Ream shocked everybody. To be honest, he might have shocked himself at how well he's been playing this season. So credit to him, man. He's done his thing.
I mean, we were building up to the World Cup, and yeah, I mean, Aaron, like, Tim Ream wasn't even in the conversation leading up to it, and then all of a sudden he's starting center back for the U.S. men's national team. It was pretty incredible, and then I mean his form has been on point all year. Yeah,
for sure. His performances got him into that squad, and it was well deserved. I'm happy for him. He got to experience the World Cup. Obviously, it didn't go amazingly, but he experienced the World Cup and he did very well.
All right, so you've been able to do a lot of cool things in your career so far. Obviously, winning a championship is a huge deal, but what's your favorite moment as a footballer?
I'll say I've had quite a few, to be honest. Making my debut for City, playing the Champions League for City, being involved in a cup run, the Carabao Cup, and winning that, winning the championship last season, being around the first team when City won the Premier League, training with them every day, working under Pep. There's lots of moments that I feel like have been amazing and great for my career.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you just mentioned Pep, and as my next question was, what's it like playing under Pep Guardiola? Obviously, a lot of people regard him as the greatest manager of all time, or one of the greatest managers of all time. What's it like under him?
You just learn a lot. Like you think you know things about football, then he teaches you absolutely 10 levels above and teaches you how to read the game. So it's amazing. It was amazing, to be honest. I think when players come away from working with him, you then realize again that, wow, how special he really was.
So I'm assuming a lot of people like yourself, or a lot of players, come away feeling like that they're well above the level they were at coming in.
Yeah, I would assume so. How can you not? You definitely learn a lot whilst working under him. So
that's just crazy to think, like, not only how big of an impact I never really thought about this, how big of an impact he makes, like, on City itself, but like players that come out from that, like now you on Fulham, like his influence is kind of touching a lot of different places at one time.
Yeah, exactly. That happens with obviously any coach that you work with. If they improve you, they have an influence on your career, and they have an influence on the team that you're now playing at because they've improved you.
Just you mentioned the Man City. You debuted in the Champions League. Were you 16 when that happened?
No, I debuted in the FA Cup. I think I was 17. I debuted in the FA Cup against Chelsea. We got spanked, but
I mean, a teenager as in an FA Cup game, like talk about like being 17, because you see all these, especially hobby implications. You got all these guys who are 17, 18, 19 jumping onto the pitch. What's it like to make that jump at 17, 18, and you're looking, or you're playing with people mid-20s, 30s, how do you like mentally prepare yourself for something like that?
I think you just have to go for it, man. You just have to believe that you're good enough to be there and put in the performances you can. For me, I just knew I had to have to show fight. I'm obviously a defender, so I have to show that I can defend. That's not my best quality. So I think my best quality is with the football, but I am also a very good defender. So I thought I had to show that I'm able to defend at that level. And mentally, I was prepared. I was definitely ready for that game. It's a game that everybody's always waiting for their debut, so you don't need any motivation to be up for that game.
I gotta ask, you said against Chelsea, when was this, 2016, around there?
Yeah, I think it was 2016.
You have to mark Hazard at all?
Yeah, it was the front three was Hazard, Willian, Diego Costa, and maybe might have been Pedro.
Oh. Well, so I gotta ask. Obviously, Hazard's career has been interesting to say the least. Incredible at Chelsea. Did things some things I've seen him do that Messi can do, and things like that. But there's a lot of discourse about at the prime of their career, who was better, Hazard or Salah? Who do you think?
I don't want to be disrespectful in it, but for me, it's Hazard, because what Hazard done to the Premier League is a disgrace. I'd say him, Bale, Thierry Henry. Then you can put Ronaldo in there. What they have done to the Premier League is an absolute disgrace. They absolutely destroyed it. Hazard was winning Chelsea games single-handedly over and over again.
It's insane. Dude, some of those highlights I couldn't even comprehend. So unfortunately, I didn't get to watch him live, but I watched back his highlight tape. I was like, what in the world is he doing? I can't believe it.
Madness. Absolutely.
And now you got Willian on your team.
Yeah.
Willian on my team. Yeah, I told him. I told him I made my debut against him.
What did he say? Was he like, oh, what were you, like 10?
Yeah, he said, how old were you? I was like 17. I said, oh, do you remember the game? It was the FA Cup game. He said, yeah, the FA Cup game, and we spanked you. I said, yeah, you did.
You've been in the hobby now for a year. You said that you're like, hey, I want to come in, I want to make an impact. Maybe we look up 2-3 years from now. What's the impact that you want to make as Tosin or Tosin Collectibles that you feel like you'd be, happy with, or like that would really help out the hobby?
I want to get more people and more players, especially, into the hobby, and then trying to intertwine that. So bringing players closer to people that are in the hobby. So like me being at the card show and just enjoying, just having players and people in the hobby to enjoy together, to be honest, collect together, have cool experiences together. So that's definitely something that I think would be quite cool, just to have everybody closer to each other, the players, everybody else that's in the hobby, just enjoying it together.
I gotta say firsthand, I think you're well on your way to doing that, and I really look forward to seeing what else you do, because it's been a pleasure being able to watch it so far, and there's a lot left to go. So
yep,
just gotta say thank you, Tosin, for joining, and thank you everyone for listening to today's episode. If you have any questions, maybe follow up for Tosin. We can maybe get him answer a couple of them. I just leave them in the comments below in case anyone else has any questions. But we appreciate the time, and we appreciate you listening to today's SlabStox FC episode, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for tuning in this week and listening to the conversation with Tosin. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or shoot me a DM on Instagram at St. Croix Cards. Would love to answer any questions that you have. I cannot wait to see you all again on the next SlabStox FC Show episode. Have a good one, guys.